What is going on, guys? Panther here, bringing you our Week 3 APA Season 7 Showdown League match against Elite Four Tom and the Gyarados Giants. So Tom is the second Elite Four crew member that we have played in a 3 week span here. As you can see over on the other side, he has a very threatening team. He has several setup mons, which are really scary. He does have the Thunderous Tea, the Volcarona. Volcarona really matches up well against my team because I don't really have a good resist to it. He does have he did bring the Rampardos, which I did not expect, so that did catch me off guard at least. The Giratina, I did expect a defensive Giratina just to deal with my Mega Lucario because it really matched up so well against my team. He does have a Hitmontop with the Intimidate, and then he has the Registeel as well. Presumably the Registeel is for my Sylveon because Spec Sylveon really put in a lot of work this match aside from the Registeel. So I have a special Sylveon set that I brought just to kind of deal with that because I can Calm Mind up against it and then Baton pass it out into my special Mega Lucario, which was my plan going into this. So definitely the plan was to set up a Calm Mind with my Sylveon, Baton pass it out as he went into Registeel into my Mega Lucario. We threaten him out with the Focus Blast or Sphere or the Close Combat while I set up a Nasty Plot and then proceed just to sweep his team. So that was the plan going into this. I really wanted to bring Tyrantrum this matchup, but I really felt like Sceptile and Incineroar could both do something here. So I wanted to bring those guys. Zapdos has been my MVP so far this season, so not a chance that I wasn't bringing my Zapdos. Like I said, I really like Sylveon, so it was coming. And then my Landorus, I had played around with a Scarf Landorus, but the Scarf Landorus didn't outrun the Volcarona at +1, and I didn't really just want to lose to Volcarona, so I did decide on the Scarf Sceptile with the Rock Slide instead. Also, it kind of handled the Mega Gyarados at +1, so it could come in and OHKO it with the Leaf Storm as long as it didn't have the HP investment. So I felt like I could bring Sceptile, Scarfed, and kind of use that as an emergency answer in case things got hairy. And I was kind of playing 6-5 down just because I had that really dead weight. As it was really just there as an emergency answer, but it is what it is. So in this match, I really felt like he would lead Registeel just to get up his Stealth Rocks. I didn't have Defog on my Zapdos, so I wasn't going to risk that. Let me pause that, by the way. So I did say I have played the 2 members of the Elite Four crew. 2 out of the 3 weeks this season. Let me give a shout out to Elite Four Marte though, because she is pulling for the Carolina Clefables here in this match against her BFF here, Tom. So sorry about that, Tom. But anyways, so I did think he would lead with the Registeel, so I decided to lead off with Bandit and Incineroar. He didn't really have a great switch into my Incineroar, except for maybe the Hitmontop. So he does lead off with the one thing that can really take on Hitmontop. Though I wasn't about to catch a close combat or a mock punch or anything like that, so I just decided to go on out. But Tom makes a great prediction there, turn 1, knowing I'd most likely go into Sylveon or Zapdos, and just throwing off a Toxic there to Toxic and wear down my Zapdos. That really does suck. So I go for a Toxic here myself, knowing he was most likely going to go into the Thunderous or the Giratina just to absorb the Volt Switch, the U-turn, the Heat Wave, whatever I wanted to go for, the Flying Move, anything like that. So. But now I definitely can't stand on this thing because he can set up a Nasty Plot or he could be the Electrium Z. So I just go on out. He predicts me to go into my Landorus. He does unveil the HP Ice though there. But I wasn't going to risk my Landorus. I am Yachi, but I do need that for other things. Sylveon can take whatever. Sylveon can take whatever, especially now that I see that it's Life Orb. Sludge Wave isn't going to do, but 60% or so. But so I go ahead and I set up the Calm Mind here, thinking he would go out into Registeel. Was not about to take a Bandit or Life Orb Head Smash, though, so go out into Landorus just to get the Intimidate. He does get an unfortunate miss, though, with the Head Smash. That definitely would have changed things up a little bit. Wouldn't have killed, but it would have done a lot. So I know he's going to switch out, fearing that I'm Scarfed as well, but I am not, as you will soon see. So I just U-turn out. He brings in the Hitmontop, but now I have in my Sylveon. And I'm really free just to baton pass out here. I just kind of want to gauge and see what exactly he's going to do. So I'm able to bring in Rick Flare Blitz here, threaten this thing out with the Flare Blitz, and I believe I just fired off here, hoping he would stay in, thinking maybe he could live it. I don't know if he knows that I'm banned or not yet. And as you can see, even with the Intimidate, that does a ton of damage. So you can see that my Incineroar can really put in some good work this match. So he doubles out, makes a really good read there, going back out into the Rampardos. The Rampardos really pressures my team a lot. So I have to make a risky play here, go back out into my Landorus, knowing that he could head smash again, but he has the Avalanche. So the Avalanche does a lot to me, but as you can see, that doesn't kill me. It only does about 70% to me. So not too worried. I know he's scarfed at this point just based on the damage, so I go out into my Sylveon because I can eat that up. So here's where I take my opportunity here and I set up my Calm Mind. I know he's going to most likely go back out into that Registeel. As you can probably hear my child screaming in the background. So here's my opportunity. I baton pass out. He's going to Iron Head or Toxic here. I know it. He's not going to T-Wave me. He's going to have the Toxic for me. Perfect. Just as I planned. I get to set up a nasty plot here. I know this thing is going to be defensive to deal with a physically offensive Mega Lucario. So I know I can do a lot of damage to it with my Flash Cannon. It does about 80%, like 75 to 85% or something like that with max defense Giratina. And at this point, it's not over. It's not a good game, not yet, because he does still have the Volcarona. I kill everything else on his team, though. I force him to go out into Volcarona, and I force him to try to set up or attack me. At which point I can go out into my Zapdos or my Sylveon to take it on and wear that thing down a little bit more. But I can keep setting up with Sylveon. I can keep passing it into my Lucario's the thing. Because I have the Vacuum Wave to take care of the threats that outspeed me, and the Vacuum Wave to take care of Hitmontop so it can't Mach Punch me. So I know I can live anything that this thing wants to go for unless it's Dragon Tail. I'm about to get off a ton of damage on this thing, though, here regardless. So I hit it with the Flash Cannon here. It does a ton of damage. He Earth Powers, and he crits me. So that went from doing about 30% to about everything and losing me the game. So at this point, I'm tilted completely. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't have any way of beating Rampardos. Like, I don't have any way of beating Rampardos. Because the thing is I can't go out in the Sceptile and go for Leaf Storm because it's an easy switch out into Registeel, and I can't play this game, especially if he gets rocks up. So I'm playing from behind here big time. So I'm forced just to try to go out and try to make plays here now. So I want to try to pick up the kill. I go out in my Landorus, throw off the Earthquake. I know I can't kill this thing. It is what it is there. He starts playing like a freaking boss, though, and making really good doubles. He knows I'm going to go out and need the Sylveon to the Zapdos. Thundurus pressures me. As you can see, that does a ton of damage. This is a bad day for me right here. So I wish I don't have the Protect. He doesn't know I don't have Protect, though. So he makes the play, goes out into the Rampardos, and I pass it, I believe, into my Landorus, which ends up really being a good play. So I'm back up full health. He can't kill me with the Avalanche. So, but I don't want to take that damage at the end of the day. So I go back out and try to sack my Sylveon off of this thing, thinking he's going to go for Head Smash or something like that. He goes for the HP Ice, ends up killing me, and I'm down 6-4. I'm down big. So I'm forced to go out to Sceptile here because that's all I have that outspeeds this thing, and go for the Dragon Pulse. So Sceptile does its job here. He could have easily went into Registeel there, but it is what it is. So I know he's going to set up on me. He's going to get up the Quiver Dance, and at this point in the game, I'm in trouble because he's got the Quiver Dance up, and he's basically got me swept except for my Sceptile. I've got to hit the Rock Slide on it to kill it, which it does kill unless he has a lot of HP investment or unless he's Charty Berry. But I can tank anything but Life Orb HP Ground on a high roll or Buggy MZ, the Savage Spin Out. So he goes for the Z Power. I'm hoping it's not Buggy MZ. He hits me with the Inferno Overdrive. I live. Rick Flare Blitz gets off a big Flare Blitz on it, takes it out. So we back in it, boys. It ain't looking good still, but we back in it. We got rid of the biggest threat to my team there. Now I've just got to find a way to play around the Rampardos. If I can play around the Rampardos, I'm in a good shape still. So I'm forced to go to Dragon Pulse here because I have to attack what's in front of me. It's all I have that can kill this thing. I couldn't let him go out to Rampardos there and pick up a kill, so I was forced to go out to Sceptile. He goes into his Registeel. I don't know his set at this point, but I'm forced to go out into Zapdos here. No way I could go out into my Landorus because I need my Landorus at full to live that Avalanche. If I take any damage with it, I can't live the Avalanche, and it's a good game from there with Rampardos. So I've got to try to chip this thing down. I don't know what it has for me, to be completely honest, but that is what it is. I get a para. Doritos trying to keep me in it. It doesn't really matter on this Registeel, as you can soon see, because he does have the rest, but that Registeel does like to be paired, apparently. So I'm getting pretty worn down here with Zapdos. He is asleep, but the bad thing is I get to go out now into my Landorus and just start clicking Earthquake because he's asleep. So I'm gonna start picking up some kills here. So he makes a good play, goes out into Hitmontop to sack it off and get the Intimidate off, but it is 3-3 now, so we have a chance. So he's got the Rampardos in. I go out into Zapdos to sack it off because I can at this point in the game. So I've already spoiled it. At this point in the game, he brings in the Rampardos. I can go out into my Landorus. I can proceed to just start firing off Earthquakes. So here's how it could wrap up. He's going to get the Avalanche off on me no matter what. But he can't kill me. I've got to get the Intimidate off on him. So it's an Intimidate game. I have to have this thing intimidated to live the Avalanche. But I can get kills every time I come in with Landorus. But Zapdos comes in clutch, absolutely clutch, and gets the para off on that thing. So the justice for the Mega Lucario comes through turn 32 late game. And that was huge because now Landorus, it's over. Landorus outspeeds everything. Landorus does. Obviously, it kills the Rampardos. Obviously, it kills the Registeel. So at this point in the game, it's a good game. I've got Landorus in. Does a ton of damage. There's nothing he can do. He wakes up. He hits me with a Toxic. That doesn't matter. He could have Seismic tossed me there. Either way, Landorus at this point just clicks Earthquake and wins. He can try to stall it out with Giratina and Rampardos and Registeel, but it's over at this point. He doesn't have anything that can outspeed since he unfortunately did get paralyzed. I would say sorry for the para. The para really does suck. I really hate that me and Tom couldn't get just a straight up battle. But unfortunately, there was some bad hacks on both sides there. So we end up picking up the 3-0 win over Elite Four Tom. So thanks for watching, guys, and until next time.